I got 16 DVDs and 1 Blu-ray for this update. Most of these I gotten within the past week at various different stores and from the flea market. This first one I have bad news for. This one's the sequel to 28 Days Later. Fox Atomic movie coming at DNA Films, not on the US but the UK and Spain. This one's 16 ans et plus pour violence et l'horreur in 18A. Now, unfortunately, this has the disc for 28 Days Later, which is the first film in the 28-something later franchise. So this one, I'm unfortunately going to have to get rid of and get a new copy at some point. Which is really unfortunate considering this DVD is out of print and very hard to find nowadays. Rest in peace, Wolfgang Petersen, who directed this movie. 1982 West German movie, released in the US by Columbia Pictures. This one's on a flipper disc. I'm not going to bother showing this insert, since it will take too much time. United Artists movie coming to Sony Pictures Classics and was released on DVD by Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. This movie premiered September 12, 2008 on MPEX. Screen Gems movie coming to Lakeshore Entertainment. This is the second Screen Gems movie ever produced, well, actually the first Screen Gems movie ever produced, but not the first to be distributed. This was one of the first Screen Gems movies ever released, though, in general. This one's also currently out of print on DVD and very hard to find, just like 28 weeks later. This one's a spoof of Kill Bill, which the director of that movie made a critic review on the front, which is pretty cool. Imagination Worldwide movie. This movie was originally released by the Weinstein Company in the US. It was released on DVD by E1 Entertainment. This one's a Norwegian movie. And this movie is the directorial debut of Tommy Wakora, the same guy who would later direct Dead Snow and Violent Night. This one's 16 ans et plus pour violence et langage vulgaire in 18A. Or the background noise. Focus features movie Call Me a Working Title and Mike Zoss Productions. Blockbuster date is February 12, 2011. This movie was originally released by Paramount Classics. It was released on DVD by Shooting Gallery and Columbia TriStar Home Entertainment. And Martin Scorsese was an executive producer on this movie, which is pretty cool. This one comes in a clear case, which is pretty interesting. This was Sean Connery's final movie before he retired and later passed away a decade later. I believe he passed away back in 2018, but I could be wrong, since I didn't do much research before going into this video. This one's pretty hard to find, so I was surprised to have found it. This is the original snapper case DVD of Creepshow. In Manitoba and Nova Scotia, this one's R in Canada. I do plan on getting the other Hangover movies at some point, but we'll see. Warner Bros. Movie, Call Me a Legendary Pictures. This next one's a Criterion Collection DVD. Spy Number 58. 1960 British movie. Here in Canada, this movie was theatrically released by 20th Century Fox. And even though this movie generated lots of controversy at the time it's released, this is rated G in Quebec, which is really weird. And I believe it's 14A. Or PG in Canada. No Canadian rating was shown on the Wikipedia, on the IMDb page. And I'm pretty sure this is another out-of-print Criterion DVD. It's now my 6th Criterion DVD I have in the collection. Former from Video Principal. Has an ad for Soul Plane on the back. I do have Rocky, The Terminator, RoboCop, and Roadhouse. All on DVD, of course. This movie stars Robert Englund, who is the same guy who plays Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare on Elm Street movie, so that's why I got it. Never heard of this movie until I found it as well. UFO LLC movie released on DVD by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment. Now the disc on this one, I believe is starting to have a bit of disc rot on it. I've yet to check check if this works though, so I'll probably make a video about it at some point in the future. Though it would suck if this was disc rot. Another movie that I've never heard of before until I got it. United Artists movie from 2000. This one's R in Canada. This one's on a flipper disc. This is currently on the... not entirely sure. Yeah, this is on the widescreen side. Now for the last DVD. This one I got for free because the disc was in not the greatest condition, so that's pretty nice. And this movie is quite infamous for a certain scene at the very end of the movie with bees. If you know, you know. Warner Bros. Movie, Call Me Alcon Entertainment, Millennium Films, Emmett/Ferret Films, Saturn Films, and Equality Pictures. Former from Video Super Shows. And now for the only Blu-ray. And this is a movie that I finally have. I borrowed the DVD of this a couple of times, but now I officially have a copy of this movie in my possession. This was only $10, so this was a really good deal. This is my second Elevation Pictures Blu-ray, the other one being Infinity Pool. And this movie, of course, won the Academy Award for Best Picture of 2023. A24 movie Komi Egbo and Leyline Entertainment was released on Blu-ray by Elevation Pictures. This code expires on June 14, 2036, which is like 10 years away from now.